Hi, welcome to our first video from Back 40 Boys. In this video we're going to be looking at my bear hunt from 2011. But before going to the action, I'm just going to give you a little information about where we're hunting. So in about mid-July we started baiting up at our cottage in Vilas County. And me, my brother, and my dad were running baits at 4 different stand locations. And fortunately enough, my mom was able to draw a tag the same year as me. So we're both really pumped for the upcoming season start. And then what really got us going was our trail cam photos. We had a lot of good bears hitting the baits during the daytime and constant action. But unfortunately, when the season got a little closer and the dogs opened up, a lot of our baits started to go cold or getting hit late at night. And so my plan is to hunt a stand on the edge of a bog and right next to a big blueberry field. And what I was going to use is my little Panasonic camera here with just a homemade C-clamp mount, and I had it mounted directly to the stand. And unfortunately the footage is a little fuzzy, but take a look and hope you enjoy. As you can see, that wasn't the most ideal thing to happen for me. And what actually happened is, as this bear was coming in from the left, it was coming directly downwind. Unfortunately, these are the only stands being hit during the day. Our other stands had been going really cold, and my mom hadn't been seeing any bears during the daytime. And our wind was going just crossing the bait. As you can see, this bear came all the way in to 17 yards, and all I needed to do was take a couple steps over this log to offer me a good shot, but he started to back up into himself. And as he walked away, I thought I had another lane, so I was still following with my bow. And unfortunately, when I decided to let down to go to my rifle to get a shot off before this bear left, I caught my release as I was letting down, and you could see my arrow flying straight into the tree and the bear taking off. This really bummed me out. I had seen one bear earlier that day, a littler bear, and I decided to let that one go because it was the very first day of the hunt, and just didn't go right. So later on, I still continued to hunt this stand, and for the next 5 days, I had a bear come in again. It was the same bear I passed up on the first day, and I decided to let him go. And for the next 5 days, he came in every single day. So I decided, you know what, my mom, she's hunting. I'll give her a chance at this bear. She said she'd shoot it. She was having good times with my dad at their other stands, but just weren't having really any bear action. So after 5 days, I let my mom go in there, and unfortunately, this bear never showed up. And so after that, it was later in the week again, and I decided, you know what, if this bear comes back in, I'm going to take it. Especially having the chance to shoot this bear with my bow. Waiting 8 years for a take, it felt right that, you know, I wasn't going to go out this season without harvesting Wisconsin black bear. And so the day I decided that I was going to kill this bear, I go in, and like all hunts go, when you know you want to kill something, it waits all the way until the last minute to come in. So a good 45 minutes before before dark, this bear shows up 10 yards to my left, and it's really spooky. So it was a little windy out that day, but the bear turns and walks directly underneath my tree stand, walks over to my right, and comes in, and I'll let you watch from there. if you couldn't hear me before, I just sent that rage right through the cage, that freaking black bear. It ran through all the brush, and it only made it about 10 yards from the bait, and it piled up right there. Let out a big grunt. My first black bear is on the ground. I think I waited maybe 5 minutes for the fucking thing to turn sideways. I'm still shaking. I shot that thing about 5-6 minutes ago. I am just absolutely shaking. Texted everyone. And now I'm just waiting for some replies. But man, am I so pumped right now. I thought it came in from about 5 yards to my left ear, and it knew something was up. Ran all the way around the bait. I thought about going to the rifle, but came in. I waited. Gave me a good opportunity for a clean shot. Stuck it. Might have been a little far forward, but as you can see that red luminox sticking out of its cage, and it's dead. I want to thank you, Dad, Mom, Grandpa, everyone who helped me bait it this summer. Oh, I just smoked my first black bear. I'm so pumped. As you can see from the footage, I was definitely a little bit more fortunate on this shot than when I was releasing to go down to my rifle on the first bear. This bear, as you can see behind me, ended up dressing out at 150 pounds. And unfortunately, I was a little bit too overwhelmed with myself that I did not do a recovery on the bear at the time. So we went back in that night a little bit later, walked up on him. We pulled him out with the four-wheeler and an otter sled. And I was really happy. You know, I waited 8 years to get my tag. I was able to shoot him with my bow. All the rush of the bear dying right there and letting on a big death groan was really exciting. And I just like to thank everyone who helped, especially my dad, my mom, my brother, and my grandpa. Unfortunately, my mom was not able to harvest a bear, although she did tough it out and sit a lot of times by herself, and that was really cool, and to get her out in the woods and get her some experience. So hopefully we got a little while until our next bear tag. I think a year from now, Jake will be drawing his tag for up at our cottage again, and hopefully we'll bring you some action from them. But other than that, stay tuned, and hopefully we can bring you a gobbler coming up here in early spring.